Hi. Long time no see, long time no hear. I hope everybody's doing great on this Saturday morning, I think it is. Let's see. I don't even know what time it is. Saturday afternoon. It is 12:52 p.m. on January 13th. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing great. Got my coffee and my one of my favorite mugs. Game time, bitches, is what it says. Look at this. And you mess with me and rip the salt on his plane. Anyway, so this is gonna be a video based on my personal experience as a spiritual person. I do not I am not religious by any chance. Used to be many years ago. Because it was kind of forced on me, but this is not that type of video. Not kind of forcing me, it was forcing me because I didn't get a chance to pick who I wanted to be. Our parents did that for us. I digress. It's not that type of video. Sorry, my eyelash is a mess because my eye keeps watering and it keeps messing up my lashes, and I'm tired of fixing it. I feel like one of those babies, those baby dolls when we were little in the 80s, or when you were little, I don't know, in the 70s or the 90s. It's like those dolls, you put them back and they go like this, and you put them back and they're like this, and then they start crying. That's what I feel like, because this eye, I don't know how many times I have to pop with a napkin. So annoying. Anyway, yeah, I digress again. Like I said, this story is going to be about one of my spiritual powers. I know a lot of people probably like, what's a spiritual power? Everybody has a power. It's just how you relate to it, or if you want it. You can always say this is not for me, and wash your hands of it. It is what it is. I used to be like that as a child because I didn't understand my powers, but I'm not going to go into all of them. I'm just going to go into one of them. And it scared me a lot as a child because, like I said, I grew up religious. I didn't grow up spiritualist. As a spiritualist, like my family wasn't about that. But I always knew I was different. I started seeing spirits at an early age. There was this one spirit that I would never forget. I was in my living room back in the 80s. I was with, at the time, I think it was just me and my two sisters and my mom. I love you, mommy. Rest in the spiritual realm. I love you. And it was dark, and we had the TV on, the old school TV with the kids with the remote. And I remember looking. I was not sitting like directly in front of the TV like this. Like, I was I was in front of the TV, but I was this way in front of the TV. And I looked to my right, and I just kept looking to my right. And I'm like, what is that? Now, I don't know the history, of the building that my family and I grew up in. I don't know if there was deaths in there. I don't know if somebody was unalived in there. I don't know if somebody died in there from natural causes. I don't know. To this day, I don't know. I know there's archives, you could find it on there, and I'm probably going to do that one day. But as of right now, it hasn't really dawned on me to do it. But anyway, I was looking to the right. And like I said, who is that? Not what is that, sorry. I said, who is that? And back there was pitch dark, pitch black. There were no light, even though there were bedrooms down the hall, and it went this way. So we had the hallway and then the bedrooms. So there was this old man When I say this man was frail, this man was so frail, so thin. You can see his skeletal system. Like, the skin is there, but he was so thin that you can see, and especially in the rib cage. Excuse me, I have potato chip on me. I was eating potato chip. Don't judge me. You can see the rib cage of this man. So defined. He had white, silverish hair that kind of like was thick, kind of came out to here, but it was, he was of, I believe, like a European descent. And so it was just laying to like maybe here, and it came out to here, so it was kind of thick. Here it was bald. From here all the way to here was bald, but from here it was thick, and it came down to like maybe here. His legs were so thin. His arms were so thin. And like I said, you could see his rib cage so defined. So he was hunchback. And he was running to the bathroom. Because like I said, the rooms were in the back, so they went like this. The rooms went like this. He was running into the bathroom because the bathroom was this way. And I remember seeing it, and I remember my heart. And I remember running back there with my mom and sitting on the couch. I'm sorry, guys. I want to keep, excuse me for a minute. I remember running to my mom and sitting on the couch. I don't remember what I said to her. Like, I don't remember in layman's terms what I said to her. But I know my mother was probably saying, "Are you okay? What's the matter?" And I just remember, you know, not saying anything. Like, you know, kind of brushing it off like nothing. It's okay or whatever. I would never forget that man. To this day, he is embedded in my mind. Absolutely embedded. And oh my God. So that was the first time I've ever seen a spirit in the flesh like that. And I've seen many. I remember seeing my grandmother from my mom's side. May she rest in peace. Love you, Grandma. Gammy, we used to call her. And I remember I was in Massachusetts. I know I'm going off. I just want to give a little bit of background before I go into one of my special powers. So I was in Massachusetts. I was at Massachusetts at a friend's house. I was sleeping over. I remember I was in her living room. Now, this particular friend likes to sleep with sound on. So in the living room where I was sleeping. So now back then I can't, you know, I still can't unless I'm really sleepy. I can't sleep to other people's noise. So regardless if they have like a sleep pattern where they have like, you know, thunder and rain and nature, if it's not my thunder and rain and nature sounds, I can't sleep to it. If it's yours, I mean, I can sleep to it, excuse me. If it's yours, I can't sleep to it. So in this particular setting, she had the radio on. And it wasn't anything like, you know, like hardcore, but she had it low. But that's how she sleeps. I mean, even though she slept in the other room, for some reason, it still helps her sleep. Anyway, I digress. Let's move on, right? So I'm trying to sleep. I'm trying to fucking sleep. I'm like, I should just shut this fucking radio off because I can't fucking sleep. So I'm on my side, on my left side, and I'm just looking at the radio like, I should just shut this shit off. So I say, you know what? Let me just lay on my back and let me see if I can go to sleep that way. So I turn around, lay on my back, I close my eyes like this, and I have my covers, by the way. So, I put it up to here. Something says, Hannah, open your eyes. I open my eyes. I look up. Now, mind you, every time I see a spirit, they have a face like this. Just like stern. So like I said, I'm laying down. Something says, Hannah, open your eyes. I open my eyes. And then I say to myself, what's going on? Right? I look up. It's my grandmother. Now, mind you, I'm laying down. I'm not like this, sitting up laying down. Like, I'm laying down on the couch. So my grandmother's leaning over like this. And she's looking at me with a stern face. She had on a black dress, 1940s, 1950s style. Her hair is in that 1940s, 50s style updo. And she just leaned over and just looked at me. And she had like a flower print on her dress. I still remember it like it was yesterday. Yo, my heart, again, mind you, there was another person sleeping in the opposite room of my friend. Why I decided to go into the other girl's room, because I felt more connected to her, even though I was friends with the other person in the other room. I'm not saying any names, we'll just skip that part. So I go into that other room with the other friend, and I say, I'm tapping her. I'm like, and she goes, hey girl, what's up? I said, I just see my grandmother. Can I please sleep with you? And she's like, yeah, sure. So I instantly fall asleep because now I feel comfortable. I wake up, it's bright, the sun is out. I open my eyes. There's nothing there, but I open my eyes and I'm like, the girl's not in the bed. So now I'm freaking out a little bit because I'm scrambling out of the sheets and the covers, like, get me out of here. So I immediately run to the kitchen where everybody else is at, and I just feel like, whoo. They're like, you all right? I'm like, after the night I had, not really. So, oh man. I mean, I don't fear my grandmother. She wasn't she wasn't a person who was dangerous. She was sweet, she was kind, she was fun. Now, she passed away in the 80s, and I was born in 81, so I don't remember exactly her. I don't remember exactly her personality, but I do remember, going down the stairs because she had, a duplex, and I remember me and my sister used to go down the stairs on our butts and, slide down the stairs. Oh, man, I remember feeding the dogs with my grandmother. My grandmother had a lot of dogs. I remember feeding the dogs. And there was one particular picture that I'll never forget. My grandmother's outside in front of her door. She has her gown on. And she's like this, looking down the block with her beautiful hair. She's like this because the sun is out. And the other hand is like this. And she's just looking. But of course, when I see my grandmother, she was young. When my grandmother passed, she was obviously older. So I didn't see my grandmother that night as an older woman. I seen her in her prime, 20s, 30s. Now, I'm more spiritual than I've ever been in my life. I have my ancestor table. I give my ancestors money. I give them food, water, necessities. Before I used to be so scared of the spiritual realm. It used to scare the shit out of me. Heart always pounding because I was so scared because I was not in tune with who I am today. Today I see a spirit. I just roll over and go to sleep because I know they're here. I know I hear footsteps because, like I said, I have my ancestor table over here. So I know my ancestors are in here. They're walking around, they're touching things. You know, I hear things fall, you name it. They come in my room and I see them, and then we look at each other straight in the eyes. I just go right back to sleep. I swear I have a portal in my room because I remember one night, I haven't told anybody but my sister this story. I know I was astral projecting. I know I was. So this particular night, this was like, I'm going to get to my power. I'm going to get there, people. I just want to get a little bit of background. So this is the last story I'm going to say about my experience being a spiritualist. So, I'm in my room. All of a sudden, where my TV is, on top of the dresser, becomes this huge portal. It's white and there's electricity. Things start like going inside the portal. Like things are just like, the papers and stuff like that to start going into the portal. Like, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Now, mind you, I know what's going on. This is plain as fucking day. Okay? Next thing you know it, the person that comes out the portal, but in the spiritual world, I seen my spiritual world doppelganger. So at this point, I have a huge closet in my room, and it has 2 huge mirrors. Now my bed doesn't face, like the foot of the bed doesn't face the mirror because that's no bueno. This part, the elongated part, so I'm sleeping this way, faces, because my room is kind of small, so I can't really do too much with it without it being in the same position because I can't put my bed against the closet. I need to get in there. So when my doppelganger comes out the portal's still open, it's still turning, the closet's still there, the electricity's still there. I see in the mirror, I see myself sleeping in the bed. And I'm like, I see me in the bed, but I see me circling slowly around my doppelganger. She had on this white gown all the way down to her ankles. She had amethyst eyes, but they were like this big. No lie. Like from here to here. It was like this. It was like this. And of course it was, amethyst eyes, but amethyst here. Like the amethyst pieces became the whole eye. If that makes any sense. So it's like pieces of amethyst that created the whole eye. I was going around her and I said, oh my God, you look, this is my exact words. I said, oh my God, you look just like me. She didn't say a word. I honestly, to this day, believe that she wanted me to come back with her into that portal. I had 2 portal dreams, but we're not going to get into the second one because I'm going to go into my power after this one. And I didn't go. I stayed here, and I honestly do not know what happened after I said, "You look just like me." I don't know if she went back into the portal. I don't know if she stayed here, but I mean, I'm pretty sure she went back into the portal. But wow. I immediately woke up the next, well, probably the same morning, because it was probably the dead hour, 3 to 4. And I immediately called my sister. And she was like, "Oh my God, thank God." Because I was thinking about going into the portal. I was thinking about it. I remember to this day, I said I should have went. But my sister said, if you would have went into that portal, I would have never seen you again. I said, I probably would have died. I probably would have died. Because I probably honestly would have went back to the spiritual realm that exact morning. I probably would have been in the spiritual realm today with my doppelganger. And my sister was like, "Oh my God, that scares me so bad, because you probably would have died in your sleep." And I said, "Astral projecting," she said. And I said, "You're probably absolutely right. You're probably absolutely right." So obviously it wasn't my time to go. I think that my doppelganger was pretty much here for a reason, but for that reason, I don't know, because she didn't talk. I think that she probably wanted to show me who I was going to become once I transitioned to the spiritual realm. This is who you're going to be. This is who you're going to become. And I think my power is in my eyes, because my eyes would be amethyst. And if you don't know what an amethyst is, look it up. So yeah, it's just an amazing astral projectile dream. And in that particular area, I've talked to my mother as she sat down at the foot of my bed. I talked to my grandfather, may he rest in peace, as I talked to him at the foot of my bed. It's something near that TV, or it's probably the TV, because TVs are portals. Yes, they are. But I digress. So let's get into my power. I don't know why, but my sister calls me the angel of death. And maybe that's who I was coming through the portal. I don't know. Being that my eyes were that dark and of amethyst, and they were huge. When I see my friend who passed away in a car accident, he came to me in my old house. My clothes in the closet start going like this. We didn't have a door to our closet. It was just my sister and I, she slept in her bed, I slept in my bed, but we shared the same room. And it was just a curtain covering the closet. So the clothes were doing this, swaying back and forth. My friend Nick came out of it. His eyes were like this, but they looked like, it was like another type of gem that I can't think of the name of. Crystal, excuse me, that I can't think of the name of. But it was gorgeous. And I don't know if we all look like that in the spiritual realm. I don't know. But I'm guessing that we do. Because I seen him first, and then I seen myself second, years later down the line. So he rushed through the closet, came right to me. And I'm like this. And I'm looking dead in his eyes. And we just staring at each other. His exact words were, "Thank you." I think he was going to everyone that could see the spiritual realm because I did go to his wake. I don't think I went to his funeral though. And he was such a handsome, handsome man. Oh my God, he was so, back in the day, man, he was such a handsome man. Oh, big, beautiful, bluish, greenish eyes. I think he was half Spanish, half white, if not Spanish. I don't remember, but man, was this guy beautiful as hell. Woo! Anyway, he has a daughter from, you know, to bring on his legacy, to continue his legacy. But he came to me, and I believe he came to me because I went to his wake to pay my respects. And he said, and when he moved, he did not move like a typical human, like, let me just, you know, get out. Oh, wait, oh, my leg is caught. You know, nothing like that. It was like, whoo, whoo. And he said, thank you. I've never had a spirit talk to me because they're always just pronounced face, like stern. My heart, like my sister was sleep. I mean, she was slump. She was not waking up. Slump. Now, I was in my bed and I was shaking, terrified. But this, like I said, this was before I remember, this is before I understood my powers. So years down the line, me and my sister became more and more spiritual. We read more books. You know, I come more in tune with who I am. I'm accepting who I am. And here's where my powers come in. I always say to my sister, every time I see someone that is supposed to transition, that is not supposed to, but is going to transition, spirit gives me signs. Rather, it's like, it, like literally it can say bus, right? On the bus thing. And I read dead. And I'm like, why do I keep reading that? Like decrease, I'll read deceased. And instead of, we know the word decrease, right? We know it says decrease. But my mouth will spell out deceased, 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 deceased. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Find out somebody died. For instance, I'll see someone, like one of my best friends. I seen him. I used to work at LensCrafters, and this was years ago. He came into my facility, and I was in the back because I used to make glasses. And I said, excuse me, mister, what are you doing here? And he was like, oh, somebody's moving on up. Oh, don't forget about us little people. And I'm like, oh my God. I said, I love you so much, you know? And I'm like, come here. So there was this little window that we would, you know, place the glasses on. So the people in the front would take the glasses and they say, okay, here's your new glasses, put them on. I used to make glasses. I used to make them, literally. So I said, come here, come here. I said, oh my God, I love you so much. And then I kissed him on the cheek. That was the last time I seen him. So then his picture on MySpace, yes, this how long ago it was. His picture on MySpace said, rest in peace. So I'm like, all right, maybe he just made his profile picture to say rest in peace because he's saying it to somebody else. So I'm like, no big deal. 2 and 2 didn't equal to 4 that day, and I just was not getting it. So then the picture kept staying up there, and I'm like, all right. I called a mutual friend, and I said, why does his picture say that? And my friend said he passed away. I said, get the fuck out of here. I lost it. I started crying at work. My boss said, you're going home. So moral of the story, my power is seeing people before they pass away. talking to them before they pass away. Literally talking to a person before they pass away. A friend, he wasn't a personal friend, but I seen him 2 days before he passed away. He stopped me as I was going home. I think I was coming back from 7-Eleven. He stopped me. We were having this intelligent conversation. He was a very smart guy. 2 days later, this guy, a gentleman who was very, very sweet, and his life got destroyed that night, the day that he got convicted of manslaughter. He was rushing home to finish a term paper because it had to be due at a certain time unless he was going to fill that class. So on the back roads where I live, there's really no traffic at a certain time of night because it becomes a ghost town. Okay. So the guy that I was talking to 2 days before he got hit by this car, him and his friend, they were happening to cross the street at the same time. The guy was zooming. He hit him so hard that their bodies went into pieces. A leg over here, a hand over here, the head over there. This is not a joke. A lady who lived near, but not, it's a highway. So this part of the highway, it becomes like a wall with a fence. So, you know, the child or people won't fall off and fall into the highway. So he got hit so bad that his leg flew in front of her door. Yeah. Rest in peace to him. But I feel bad for the guy that hit him because he was such a sweet kid. He did nothing wrong in his life. He was just trying to go home to finish a term paper. They owned a store across the street from where I used to live. And oh man, it was so fucking sad because he was such a humble gentleman. And I know he's still like that. And oh man, it's a terrible, terrible thing. Such a nice kid. And I think at that time he had to been maybe 19. He was always smiling, sweet, kind, generous. It's so simple, so you can just mess up your life just like that and never had done anything wrong in your life. But the moral of my story is not every time, because obviously the people that I talk to, they're still here, but if I haven't seen you in a long time, or if I haven't talked to you, in a long time, and then all of a sudden I see you, or all of a sudden I talk to you out of the blue, and I haven't talked to you since, let's say, 1995 or 2006, chances are you're going to die. Chances are you're going to die. Or if I haven't talked to you in a while, it could be 8 months I haven't talked to you. And next you know what, you're stopping me on the street. Next you know what, you're calling me out of the blue. That spirit letting me know, because my sister calls me the angel of death, that spirit letting me know that you're going to die. And I'm trying to tap into my powers in that sense, because I was able to tap into many of my powers by understanding who I was spiritually. And I'm just trying to figure out why spirit is choosing me to see people before they pass. Recently, I used to go to school with a gentleman that just passed away recently of kidney failure. He was my age, 42. We haven't talked. He would post things on Facebook. I'm not really a Facebook type of gal. So, you know, every once in a while, I'll laugh at his post or I'll comment, but it wasn't like an everyday thing. I'm once in a blue moon Facebook type of girl. So he contacts me and he goes, something to the lines of, I'm hungry. And I said, well, I wish I could help you, but I don't have anything to give you. He goes, I think I'm going to have churches. And I said, well, go ahead, go at it. Go for it. All yours. And then he contacts me back and says, you know what? I want to get in McDonald's. At this point, I think he was losing his mind because his post leading up to his death didn't make any sense. And I'm not trying to be funny. They honestly did not make any sense. 2 to 3 days later, somebody posts, rest in peace. And I'm saying to myself, am I supposed to have this gift where I tell people, sit down, because you're going to die? Am I the person that can help you? Right? I'm trying to understand my gift. Am I supposed to be the person? And if anybody understands where I'm coming from, please comment below and say, yes, I can help you further understand your gift, because I would love to know why. So am I supposed to be the person to say, I can help you live longer? Or am I the person who's supposed to say, sit down, I have something to tell you? And if I am the person of either or, A or B, how do you tell him anything of such sort? Even if I can help you live till 85, how do I say you need to do this? Right? Without them thinking that I'm batshit crazy. Or how am I supposed to tell the person, got a minute? I got to tell you something. You're going to die. Like, how do you prepare somebody for that? How do you prepare somebody for that? How? I mean, I don't mind having a nickname, the Angel of Death. I don't. Because I accept my powers. I accept this power. I love this power. I do. I love my gifts. I do. But how do I use this particular gift is what I am trying to figure out. And why was it handed down to me? And I'm sure many people have this gift. It's not just me. But I just don't understand it. And I hate to say the word, but I'm dying to understand. I'm dying to understand it. I'm so happy and grateful and privileged that Spirit has said, you can have this gift. Wow. I need to find out how I can tap into it to understand, so I can understand how to use it when and if I do. I don't want to scare people. I don't. But at the end of the day, is good. Is it really good to know? I don't know. I digress. I don't want to make this too long. Well, if you have anything similar to what I'm going through, or if you can help me understand my spiritual gift better, comment down below. I would love to hear what you have to say. Happy Saturday.